Hey, what is happening, guys? What's going on, YouTube? My name's Johnny. You've tuned into Rules for Rebels, and in today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about NavCoin. So, NavCoin is a coin that I've been invested in for a while. More recently, I've kind of liquidated some of my other cryptocurrencies, and I'm going a lot heavier on Nav. I'm going to give you guys a couple bullet points for why I like it and why I think it's interesting. And we'll kind of run through those in a second. I'm not telling you guys to buy this coin. Check it out, make your own decisions. But I will say, I called Bitcoin back. Obviously, people called it way before me, but I started mentioning Bitcoin to you guys at 487, right around the time of the flash crash. We see we're at now, what, 7,500, 7,800, whatever it is. Couple weeks back, I told everyone that I was buying Lisk. That's when Lisk was at 450. Lisk is up to, I think it might have run up close to 10 bucks. It's at least above $8. I think I called ARK a while back. So I'm not the most technical savvy person when it comes to cryptocurrencies. I don't mind. I'm not a coder. I'm not a developer. But I do think I'm pretty good at kind of reading the signals and kind of seeing what people are interested in and kind of picking coins out before they go big. Nav, if at one point was up to about $1.50. I think it's down to about 81 cents right now. It's recently started getting a lot of attention. And one thing we see in the crypto space, when a coin starts getting more attention, it tends to get more attention and start kind of getting a bump. So as far as why I think NavCoin is interesting, one of the things that they make a big priority is simplifying cryptocurrency. I think that's really, really important. Even though I've been into crypto since 2013, I'm still learning more and more every day. And when it comes to like staking and mining and all this other stuff, like a lot of it's way over my head. I think to a large extent, cryptocurrency is way more complicated than it needs to be. A while back, I made a video talking about John McAfee, and we kind of focused heavily on how McAfee said, look, software is meant to simplify things for us, right? Like think about all the softwares we have, like whether it be online banking, whether it be softwares that help us, auto like things on Instagram, design applications that help us design, Amazon merch t-shirts if we don't understand Photoshop. Like software is meant to help our brains wrap around things that we otherwise would have trouble with. So why not make software to make cryptocurrency easier? And in that discussion, McAfee said something I was kind of focusing on. He said, until your average housewife can easily use cryptocurrency, it's not going to go mainstream, right? It's too complicated. He compared it to kind of a fraternity where you almost need a friend or somebody close to you who's involved to kind of help hold your hand through the process. So Nav says that their main goal is to simplify cryptocurrency. So if they can simplify it and make it easy for the average user to use, that's going to be really good. Another thing Nav has going for it, and I think this is really important to kind of note, and then we'll kind of go through the website in here in a second. I want to kind of give the bullet points. So for anyone who doesn't want to sit through, I don't know if this video is going to go 15, 30 minutes. Well, I tend to be kind of long-winded, so I want to get the bullet points out there early. So anytime a coin that comes out that's strictly going to be a coin, like ARK and Lisk are meant to be like bridges between different cryptocurrencies. We have other cryptocurrencies that are meant to be like tokens on certain platforms. But if something's going to be like just a straight currency, whether it, similar to a Bitcoin, a Litecoin, a Vertcoin, in my opinion, it has to have a couple things going for it. Otherwise, there's no point to having it outside of the more well-known cryptocurrencies, right? So if Nav were nothing more than a currency to pay for things with, well, hey, we already have Bitcoin for that. We have Litecoin, which is cheaper than Bitcoin. We have Vertcoin, which is either cheaper or around the same cost as Litecoin, but is also going to be doing something called private addresses. So if a coin is going to, be an addition to the currency space coin, it should have three things going for it. It should be easy to use. It should have fast transactions and cheap transactions. I forget if Nav is 10 cents or 30 cents, but either way, we all know how long Bitcoin transactions can take to clear, right? It's kind of frustrating when you want to transfer some Bitcoins from like your Trezor onto Coinbase, but then there's like, you may be waiting 30 minutes or an hour and you have to go back and do it again. Nav transactions clear within, it's either 10 seconds or 30 seconds and it's spendable immediately. Nav transactions are incredibly cheap. And the other thing, Nav transactions, they don't have to be private, but you have the option of privacy. And I still haven't fully wrapped my head around this. There's something called NavTech Polymorph, where I believe I could send, if I wanted to send you Bitcoins, but I wanted it to be anonymous, I could send Bitcoins through Nav. They turn into, I believe it's NavCoins or possibly even another cryptocurrency, and then they go back to Bitcoins, kind of making them untraceable. So let's take a quick look at the market cap here. I guess it's trading at 86 cents. We're up a little bit today. I always kind of like to look at the historical. So we see at one point it spiked to about $1.55 or so. If we look at like the month-long chart, let's see where it's been in the last month. In the last month, it's been up to 96 cents as low as 69 cents. Let's look at the last week. Okay, so it seems like we're kind of on a climb, and if we look at the last day, I think it's up a little bit on a day. Okay, so I was messing with Nav under 50 cents, wrote it up to like $1.50, sold it off. Now that it's cheap again, and there's a lot of developments going around with Nav as well. Nav is ranked 91. I think it used to be higher, closer to, it may have even been in the top 50. But if you want to see those big gains, right, like not to say you can't make huge money in Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum, but you know, I think you're less likely to make those giant gains with like top 10 coins or even top 50 coins than you are to, you know, make money on those coins that are like ranked 50 to 90. Those ones are a little bit lesser known. They have a little bit more room to run, etc. As far as the markets where you can buy it, let's see, Bittrex, Poloniex, Cryptopia, you know, so pretty much not Kraken, but Bittrex and Poloniex. I think Bittrex is probably the biggest and most well-known altcoin exchange. I notice they don't have cex.io. So as they maybe get on Kraken and cex.io, which I think they will be picking it up sometime, you know, I think that could give it a boost. They have a really active developer team. They have a really active Reddit. One interesting thing to note as well, let me show you guys something here real quick. Where's the store? So, you know, some coins can be mined. Other coins are, I guess, what is called proof of stake coins. So proof of stake is basically where just for holding the coins, you're going to earn like interest or you're staking, as they say. So Neo is a cryptocurrency like this. Neo has a really simple wallet. You move your coins over to the Neo wallet and you earn what's called gas. In the case of Nav, you earn free Nav for staking. Now you could have a wallet on your computer, and let me see if I can, I'm going to pause the video, see if I can open my wallet and show it to you guys real quick. Okay, so here is briefly what the Nav wallet looks like. As you can see, it's not quite as simple as Neo, but pretty simple. I haven't had mine open that long, so I think it still has to connect to the network. I haven't really left it open. Not staking because wallet is locked, so if I want, I haven't moved any coins over here. I just recently started getting into the idea of staking them. You earn 5% interest right now. I believe at some point that's going to go down to 4%, although there is some talk of whether that's a good or a bad idea, because obviously we want to get the Chinese involved in coins. It's a ton of people that could potentially come in, and I think number 4 is bad luck or something in China. So a lot of people are saying maybe they should go up to 5 and then not go up to 6 and knock it down to 5, because Chinese people won't get involved if the number's 4. I don't really understand that, whatever. Besides the point, but send, put in an address, the amount, send. If you want to make it a private payment, you simply click that button. To receive, again, you have a QR code here, or your wallet address, which you can copy. And I don't have any transactions here, but that's kind of the Nav wallet for you. As you can see, pretty simple, straightforward, not glitchy at all. I downloaded the Redcoin wallet a while back. That was kind of glitchy. Really active developer community. I asked a question on the Nav Reddit the other day, and somebody had given me a great response, linked to a bunch of helpful resources, etc. But in order to stake, my wallet has to be open all the time, right? So Nav has something called the Nav PI, and it costs $100. You can actually make these yourself for probably half or less of that. You just need a Raspberry computer and a little small memory card. That's a little bit over my head. I was going to talk to a buddy about doing it for me. It's a little bit complicated with the setup for, if you're somebody who's not like super comfortable with tech stuff. They do have detailed instructions, and I read over the instructions here. I mean, if I actually took an Adderall and decided to focus a bit here, I could probably figure it out. But what's more interesting is they actually, before Christmas, are going to be rolling out something called the Nav PI 2.0, and that, I guess, is going to be much easier to use. It's going to be already programmed, etc., etc., etc. And what's kind of cool about that is, rather than having a laptop on all the time, basically you're just going to have this little box which uses much less power running. And then also this one has to be connected to a mouse, a keyboard, and a monitor. With the new one, I believe it's going to have a display on it, so you can do everything through the unit. You don't have to connect it to anything else, and I guess it's much less setup. Let me briefly kind of walk you guys through. Yeah, let me move this up here. NavCoin.org. I had some notes here. I want to make sure I hit all my bullet points before we start exploring the site. So Nav's been around for a little over 3 years. It has a market cap of... Let's see what the market cap is. Market cap of 53,886,765. It's ranked 91. We already kind of talked about the exchanges that it runs on. Been around 3 years. There are 62 million coins. These coins are not mineable. They're based on proof of stake, which we kind of discussed. Stakers earn an annual 5% return. It's based off of Bitcoin 0.13, which I guess according to, that's a little bit over my head, but I guess it's a good foundation to build off of. Based off Bitcoin and is a method of transaction with upgrades. Okay, so NavCoin already has SegWit and 30-second transaction times, very low fees. Let's see, Bitcoin Bitcoin is anonymous. You can actually trace transactions back to a wallet. So NavCoin is better in the sense that it is anonymous. And that kind of brings me to the next point, which is if a coin is a clone of Bitcoin, it must at a minimum have privacy, fast transactions, cheap transactions. You want to have those 3 things. Moving on to the wallets, again, I kind of showed you, really intuitive, really easy to use, and that is one of the things that Nav prides themselves on, is making it easy to use for quote-unquote normies, average people like you and me. Really clean, really easy to use. Let's see, I gave the example of Neo's, another kind of simple wallet. In 2017, so some of these features have been rolled out, some are still in the works, should be rolling out soon, but they added a subchain into the NavTech single wallet. So I guess now it's a fully decentralized mesh network. It consolidates multiple wallets. They're also going to have anonymous D apps. So whereas people can kind of develop apps on top of Ethereum, it's not anonymous. With NavCoin, it is anonymous, and I guess that's good if you were wanting to do like apps involving like financial transactions or a million other things where privacy is important. There's also something called NavTech Polymorph, and that provides anonymous payments through Changelly. And that's another thing as well. Let's see, Changelly Nav. So you can actually buy, actually I guess I could have gone here. You don't have to buy Bitcoins, I don't believe, and then so with most cryptos, you have to first buy Bitcoins, then you have to move them over to an altcoin exchange, and then you have to buy them there. Well, for the sake of making it simple, Nav is going to let you purchase Nav coins directly with a credit card, so you're not having to go to Coinbase or CoinMama to buy your Bitcoins, which you may or may not know how to do, then send them over to Bittrex, which you may or may not know how to do, then buy them there. Here you can straight up buy them with a credit card, and it's only a 0.5% service fee, so pretty low there. But yeah, you can buy Nav coins directly here. Getting back to the Polymorph, it basically provides anonymous payments through Changelly. It allows you to exchange coins back and forth from one coin to the other. You can also swap from, say, Bitcoin anonymously, and you can use NavTech Polymorph to convert Bitcoin into Ether or any other coin. If you want to participate with these swaps, you have to have Nav tokens, so that makes the coin kind of usable and desirable. They have a strong roadmap. They have a strong developer team. In addition to having a developer team, they have a marketing team, which I think is also important because the best coin doesn't always win out. And we'll give you guys an example. So Dash and Monero are both privacy coins, right? And we'll also kind of compare Nav to some of these other privacy coins. I think privacy coins are going to have a very bright future. So I know there's a lot more to privacy coins than just buying weed online and hiding your money from the IRS, right? But I think it's naive to deny that those are reasons why a lot of people use them. So ever since Alphabet and Silk Road and all those got shut down, there has not been a good deep web drug marketplace for a while. Let's be honest, that's one of the reasons people use privacy coins. Well, apparently there's a new Agora 2.0 out. Before Alphabet, after Silk Road and before Alphabet, Agora was one of the bigger deep web marketplaces. Just came online recently, 2.0, so I think, it's probably going to be using Monero or Dash, but potentially a use for NavCoin. Another thing is the IRS has been going after Coinbase records for, I don't know, past year or so. Coinbase has been fighting them, but just recently a judge kind of signaled that he was going to side with the IRS, and basically, even though there's no wrongdoing going on or no real, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Even though there's no, basically it's a fishing expedition, right? They're not saying we want to go after specific records. They're just saying we want to look at all Coinbase's records and figure out who's dodging taxes or whatever else. Well, it looks like the government is going to invade everybody's privacy and invade Coinbase's records. And whenever this type of stuff comes into news, you definitely see privacy coins kind of get a bump in value. I believe when Nav ran up to $1.50 and when Monero was up around $150, that was right around the time that was in the news. Let's see, what other things do we got here? Allows you to use mesh network, first feature NavTech, senders anonymous, 2 big polymorph upgrades. Okay, so the team is in New Zealand. There's 4 developers, a marketing team, and a communications team. Oh, and that's where I was going before I got sidetracked. So most people, I think, would agree that Monero is a superior coin and a superior technology to Dash. But Dash is marketers, right? They spend their money on marketers. Monero is basically like mathematicians. So as we've seen with that and other coins, it's not always the best coin that wins out. It's oftentimes the best marketing team that winds up winning out. The D-app should be coming out soon. They have a large Twitter following, a large Slack and very active Slack channel, a big Reddit audience, very active on GitHub. They update the roadmap in their blog regularly. They have one of the, in my opinion, one of the most professional and best websites out there. I don't throw out the term undervalued a lot, but I think it's true there. And now we'll just kind of take you through a little walk through the website. So here's where you download the wallet. What is NavCoin? NavCoin is a decentralized cryptocurrency based on the latest version of Bitcoin Core. On top of a solid foundation, NavCoin supports SegWit functionality and easy-to-use wallets, which are packed with advanced privacy features. Using NavTech technology, you get the option to choose private transactions. And one kind of cool thing, right? There's no hoops you got to jump through to send private transactions. You click one button. Nav has faster transaction times, no need to wait 10 minutes. Send Nav anywhere on the planet instantly and have it confirmed and spendable within 30 seconds. Earn while you sleep with the proof of stake. You can earn up to 5% interest on your investment simply by switching your wallet onto staking mode. And as far as I've researched and know, not really any privacy concerns about doing that. If you get a Nav PI or set up a Raspberry, you want to set it up so that it can only be like accessed from your home local IP address, so it can't be hacked. But pretty safe, and an optional private payments. Download the wallet. They got the roadmap here. If you guys want, we can view where we're going. Very active with this. Nav PI 2. Let's see, after this, okay, so as soon as this Nav PI 2 comes out, I'm probably going to grab me one of those. There were a couple other things I wanted to show you, CoinDesk. So here's kind of the team. Bitcoin Gold has like a 1-person developer team. So you see here, we actually have a marketing team. We actually have developers. They're active on all these different platforms. And then let's see about NavCoin. There's one thing I wanted to show you. So in terms of like the privacy technology, earn while you sleep, bright future, eco-friendly. Okay, so some people criticize Bitcoin that a lot of electricity is wasted. Proof of stake mining doesn't require expensive hardware or farms or servers to get involved. You're not wasting a bunch of electricity, etc., etc. Great community. NavTech. NavTech is our dual blockchain system for sending private NavCoin payments. Essentially, the transaction information is encrypted and sent through a second blockchain, which completely breaks any link between the two addresses. More resources. I want to get to the FAQ because here's what I thought was interesting. So, okay, so how is NavCoin different from other privacy anonymous coins? There are 2 main technologies that our competitors use. CryptoNote /RingCT used by Monero and Bitcoin, and ZSnarks used by Zcash. Both of these are new algorithms that don't have many studies behind them, and there are several academics that question the validity of these algorithms, and you can read about that here. As soon as those algorithms are broken, the whole transaction history would be unveiled, and the privacy is gone. NavCoin's anonymous transactions are based on RSA, which is widely used and studied algorithm. We currently use 2048 bit length keys, which nowadays are considered safe, but if we decide to move to safer 4096 bit length, the longer the bit, the harder it is to brute force crack. We could do it and it wouldn't negatively affect the ecosystem. So essentially they're saying, and I was talking to Brian Phobos on Steemit about this. So RSA, he said, is like battle tested for 20 years. It's not going to be broken. Some of these newer technologies, they may be great, but they just haven't been studied enough. And some people are critiquing whether they're going to hold up. And basically, if somebody were to, I guess, kind of break this type of cryptography, it would essentially mean that all the privacy people thought they had is gone. And I think it would basically destroy those coins. So that's something interesting. You know, what is cryptocurrency? What is NavCoin? What is the point of NavCoin? NavCoin is built around two principles: privacy and usability, right? Two important things. How does it differ from other coins? Faster transaction times, 30 seconds versus 10 minutes. Low cost, only costs 0.0001 nav. Proof of stake, so you can earn. Even a Raspberry Pi can run it. Active developer team, 5% returns. Optional but fully anonymous. Forward thinking. Been around for a while. Important partnerships, good partnerships. But yeah, I mean, just everything about it, right? Like all the common questions people might have are pretty much answered here in plain English. What is SegWit and why was it activated on NavCoin? SegWit is an update to the core of the NavCoin technology and was initially proposed by developers for Bitcoin. Because it was a large change to the underlying technology, it needed to be voted on and supported by 75% of the network, which it successfully did in May 2017. And you know, all this SegWit stuff, right? We had the first part of SegWit in August. Then we had all the SegWit 2x drama recently. So NavCoin doesn't have any of that drama going on. The price is fairly stable but rising. But yeah, I definitely would encourage you guys to kind of explore the website. Even if you are kind of new to crypto and you want to get Nav, you don't have to first buy Bitcoin, which is kind of cool. And I think somewhere I saw there were a list of shops which accept, let me take a look here. What shops accept NavCoin? I was kind of going through. There's actually somebody near me I think Bensonville, or kind of by O'Hare Airport, but there was some like weed clothing shop who was accepting NavCoin. Easy Fast. Let me see. Maybe it was this one. New merchants accepting. Anyhow, I don't know. You guys can explore that on your own. But there are a decent amount of merchants accepting NavCoin as well. But yeah, in general, this is one of my favorite new coins. I've recently sold out of some other cryptos to go heavier into Nav. And then I guess before we cut out here, I'll just kind of give you a rundown of the just kind of any recent news, any rises in prices. So Monero's up to 131. I was sitting on a Monero loss for a while, but again, I think with all the IRS stuff going on, I think privacy coins are going to go on a run. Stellar Lumens, nothing really noteworthy. NEM, no. Vertcoin, I'm staying away from right now. Steam's kind of stuck. I'm looking on my phone at my Blockfolio right now, if you guys are wondering. Siacoin, garbage. Rise, not really interested. Nothing really to say about Redcoin. Neo today went from 32 up to 48 bucks. Neo made an announcement the other day. They said in 3 days there's going to be groundbreaking huge news, and I think it's just kind of BS. I wish I would have bought it at 30 bucks and caught this run, but I would stay away from it now. Metal, garbage. Lisk, I'd called Lisk back in early to mid-October. It's at 907 right now. For those of you guys who listened to me back then and bought it, great. If you want to take some profits and sell some, great. I think it may continue to run. I wouldn't necessarily encourage anybody to buy in right now above $8. I think a lot of what we're seeing right now is FOMO, fear of missing out, and people are rushing in. Don't buy in at the peak and don't be a bag holder. Golem, garbage. Feathercoin, Feathercoin, I was looking at it at 9 cents. I knew it was going to catch a jump to 12 and I didn't get in. It'll go from 11 to 13 cents, which, 2 pennies may not seem like a lot. But that's almost 20%. So there are some opportunities to make money there. If I can catch Feathercoin at 10 cents or under, I'll probably buy some of that. Bitcoin, as we speak, is sitting at 77.41. I actually sold off a little bit of Bitcoin last night. Just because it, after the run it's had, I was expecting a little pullback. I got a buy order set for 7,100. It was like less than $1,000 that I sold, very small percentage of my Bitcoin. But I did sell a little bit last night. BCH is at 12.57. If I can get that around 1,000 or under, I may grab some, but I'm kind of scared. I'm not a huge supporter of BCH. I'm a little bit scared of that one. I sold off my bat coins for a loss. I figure there's more opportunity somewhere else. I really like the, let me show you guys here. I really like the Brave browser. I really like the Brave browser. You can get it on your phone, your computer. Basic attention tokens are used on the Brave browser. The guy from Firefox and a guy who created Java built this. It's a really awesome project. And it kind of blows my mind that we have other coins that have no utility or no support or don't even have live projects, which are like even Lisk right now, right? Like Lisk is going to be doing a rebranding. They have this developer toolkit thing coming out that's supposed to be big news, but like they don't even have a live project. They're at $9, and we have this awesome Brave browser, and their token's at like 16 cents, right? So that doesn't always make a lot of sense. ARK at see, in the past day, it's been as low as $2.79, as high as $3.57. If you can grab some ARK under $3, I think it's a bargain. Ardor, I think I sold off my Ardor, but that's one I'm keeping an eye on. If I can get that around 20 cents, I think I'm going to buy it. You can swing trade that one from like 21 to 28 cents every now and again. And then another coin I'm really liking for the future is Aeon. I don't know that much about Aeon. It is a privacy coin. I believe it's privacy on mobile phones and things like that. It's like a private mobile currency. I got to research that one a little bit more. I bought some, I think under $2 recently. I wrote it up to, I don't know, $3, $3.30, wherever it was in the past week or so. Sold some off, but I'm waiting for that one to dip. I think $2 or under, I'll buy back in. Today it's been as low as 202, as high as 276. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of run through some cryptos before we cut out here. But yeah, the main focus of this is NavCoin. NavCoin right now behind Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, which are kind of the core three. This is my large, actually it's not my, okay, I should say my holdings go Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Monero, just because it's a more expensive coin. And then my fifth highest holding is NavCoin. But, you know, I am going to be steadily increasing my NavCoin holdings. As soon as this NavPI 2.0 comes out, I'm going to cop me one of those. And excited about earning the 5% stakes, as well as hopefully seeing the value of NAS rise. And I may even try to start, just to kind of foster adoption of this, I may even start accepting this for coaching and with a couple of my businesses as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know we ran a little bit long, but if any of you guys are interested in Nav, hopefully you found this video helpful. If so, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are not subscribed, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Johnny with Rules for Rebels, signing out. Later, guys.